Welcome to Crossbody Drafts, a show where we draft wrestling things. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
And we are back for episode 6. In this episode, we are drafting the worst wrestling gimmicks of all time.
Ever.
These are all subjective. What is the worst wrestling gimmick is entirely subjective, though there are some that definitely stand the test of time as being awful.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Hulk Hogan.
Well, I mean, we hate Hulk Hogan, so of course we're going to say it's a bad gimmick. And it doesn't. We also weren't children of the 80s, so we don't understand.
It's fair. No, you're absolutely correct.
It's like when you watch certain movies back, and you're like, how was this popular? And like, it's all we had.
No, it's not even movies. I had this conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, literally yesterday. Did you ever watch Zoe 101?
All the time.
Yeah. I loved Zoe 101.
Yeah.
Great show. You ever watch Zoe 101 recently?
No, is it awful?
It fucking sucks. We just thought, like, as children, we were like, yo, this is the coolest freaking school ever.
It's a cool school. And also it was so fun. And now you look back and you're like, there is no bigger simp in all of TV than Chase. Was it Chase?
Yeah, it was Chase, the friend.
The biggest simp of all time. Oh my god! Like
Ron, it didn't even work out in the end.
It's awful. Anyways, let's talk about bad wrestling gimmicks. Javier is going to flip the draft dime. I'm going to call it in the air. Whoever gets, if I get it correctly, then I get the first pick. If not, Javier will get the first pick. As of now, I am 0 for 5.
Yeah, which is honestly kind of impressive.
Let's see how we do. I really want to end the streak here.
All right.
Heads.
It is heads.
Let's go. I finally have the first pick.
1 for 6, baby.
I do think I'm going chalk with the first pick. If you want to talk about all-time bad wrestling gimmicks, this is a gimmick we have seen on the podcast. Also, go check out our podcast at Crossbody Work. It's a great time. I've got to take the Shockmaster. Worst entrance, worst look, the vest with the sparkly helmet.
No.
Yes.
He's a Viking with a freaking sparkled up Stormtrooper helmet. What's so bad about that?
And he yassified a Stormtrooper helmet and was man. Yeah, that's a good time. And the worst part about it is we have covered a Shockmaster match, so Fred Ottman, and when he wrestled Shockmaster, he just was like a dude. That was his gimmick, was he just had like a vest on and was just like going to work. Why'd you have the helmet then? Have you ever tried to pull off a new piece of clothing you didn't know about? Like you try like a cool hat and everyone's like, what's with the fucking hat? And you immediately throw it in the closet and you're like, no.
I was never a hat person. I don't know. There's probably been like a shirt or something. No, shoes. I mean, listen, man, I was a sneakerhead growing up. I didn't,
All right, so you're cool. I get it.
I was rocking maybe like pants. I don't know. I'm also like a very much a 1 or 100 guy. Like I'm either like wearing, just like normal, neutral, like sweatpants and like just regular male clothing, or I'm fucking going full on Elton John. Like, give me a fucking boa, give me feathers on weird places. I want all that shit
on weird places. All right. You have the second pick, my friend. Who are you going with?
I mean, I feel like this is also kind of chalk. I'm going with the Gobbledy Gooker.
Oh, man. I had the Gobbledy Gooker on the board, too. That's a good pick. I do love the alternate timeline where they have the Undertaker be the Gobbledy Gooker and come out of the egg.
It's just like
they debuted at the same time.
It's just why?
That's actually a great question with a lot of these. What is the end goal, or like what's the peak for this gimmick?
It's like not even the end goal. It's just why? Just like, why is this man in a turkey costume?
There's certain gimmicks that like they're not going to be world champion, but at least they could like engage in some interesting feuds, and that's cool. What's a chicken gonna do? It's a chicken.
What's like? Did it ever wrestle? I don't even remember if it wrestled. Did Hector ever wrestle in the thing? By the way, this is played by Hector Guerrero, Chavo's dad.
This is such a shame.
Yeah, it's bad. You go ahead. You know what? Let's just keep it moving.
With my second pick, I moved to WCW once again to introduce the Yeti.
Oh no! No.
What a bad idea.
I've been robbed. I thought that was my next pick.
Are you ready for what I think is the dumbest part about the Yeti gimmick, which is saying
Go
something?
ahead. Is it
He's clearly a mummy.
Yeah.
I don't have. There's photos of what Yeti should be. This man is wrapped in toilet paper. He's the Charmin bear. He's a mummy. What are we doing?
Also, why it's Yeti? So why are they saying the Yeti?
The Yeti. Honestly, gotta give him a little sauce. I don't mind it.
I don't know. Listen, like the next episode we cover, just a little spoiler for the people here, is we're doing a recap on World War III.
The match.
The match, yes. The war has somehow it hasn't started yet. But anyways, yeah, knock on that wood. But no, the Yeti's in that match. And they just keep saying, "Where's the Yeti? Where's the Yeti?"
He doesn't look like a mummy anymore. He just looks like a weird dude.
He just looks like a Kiss member. He's the long lost Kiss cosplayer.
All right, I've got Shockmaster and Yeti. You've got Gobbledy Gooker. Who are you going with for pick?
I'm going with another like weird mythical, not okay thing. Kevin Nash, before he was Diesel, was a certain big green fucker called Oz.
Take a look at Kevin Nash. Like young Kevin Nash, early 20s Kevin Nash. He's 7 feet tall. He's got oodles of charisma, a good look, and they're like, you should be a wizard with a weird mask.
Yeah.
They're like, that tracks. You should be the weirdest wizard of all time.
Yeah. You ever watch we're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. I could just picture them not even knowing the title of the movie.
They're like, yeah, no, it's Oz.
The chick with the with the yellow brick road and all that jazz.
That's a great pick, but a bad gimmick. I feel like that's the top tier. Those four are the top tier, and then
I throw one more in there, and I will absolutely if you don't pick them up right now.
Okay, interesting. I have a lot of different ways I want to go here. I do think I am going to go with. You know what? This is a scary thing. I get it. I understand it. Going to the dentist is scary.
Oh, God. Is it?
To some people, children, people who don't take care of their teeth. Those people. Man. Give me Isaac Yankem DDS. Kane looked awful here.
Well, Kane is just an awful looking person. I don't know what you exactly want me to tell you. He's not a handsome man.
They just made it so much worse for him.
Like if Kane were a better actor, he would have killed. He would have raked in fucking horror. The horror genre would have raked.
I'm sorry, this is See No Evil erasure that you're doing right now.
Well, but it's his only one.
But it was not awful.
But it should have been more. If he were just better, it would have
been more. You could have been a contender. Isaac Yankem DDS had like a real career. The dentist lasted a while because this
SummerSlam match with Bret Hart.
This is part of that weird timeline for WWF where they were like, "Hey, every wrestler has a side job. Hockey player, car mechanic,
dumpster drozy,
garbage man, repo man." They're like, these guys, they're just coming in off the street like you. Was that the appeal? Do you think there were dentists out there who were like, finally, some dental representation?
A 7-foot tall dentist. This is exactly what we needed.
That's exactly what we needed. All right, you've got Gobbledy Gooker and Oz. Who are you going with next?
I'm adding one more to that top tier because this person absolutely deserves to be there because it's a gimmick that is not only terrible, it inconveniences the shit out of the man who was under the mask.
Interesting.
Shout out to Mantaur.
Oh, Mantaur.
Imagine having to wrestle with that.
Mantaur is awful.
It's bad.
Because it's a centaur, but it's a man. And but he's not a centaur because he doesn't have the back. He's just a Mantaur. He's just a bull.
He's a Mantaur. He's
got Torito's dad.
Big bull head. It's bad. It's really bad.
Again, what's the ceiling? How high are you taking the Mantaur gimmick?
Don't know that there is one, to be honest.
I don't think there is either. All right. I have a lot of things left on the board here, and
So you've hundreds.
I can go on a lot of different directions. I am gonna go, and I feel like this is not even on your board. I don't think it's on there. Give me 7.
A 7 was on the board.
Give me the weird Dustin Rhodes post Gold Dust gimmick. He's painted all white with the black. It's Undertaker, but not, and it's awful.
It looks like the weirdest version of the bad guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that's a good shout. It does look like. I'm going to put that on the screen somewhere over here. Somewhere. That sounds good. Somewhere down here.
somewhere on the screen. You just have a weird-looking old man.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure is
7 and the old guy.
Who's the guy from Back to the Future? The doctor?
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just Christopher Lloyd.
It is.
Yeah,
Christopher Lloyd is an excellent actor.
Shout out.
Here's the thing: Dustin Rhodes made Goldust work. It was very nuanced.
Knocked it out of the park.
7 was a departure.
Bad. Very
good
bad.
Good movie. You see Gwyneth Paltrow's head in the box.
Well, you don't see it
in the box.
You actually don't see it.
I know. Sad.
Anyways,
what do you got?
I don't know. Speaking of heads in boxes, I don't know that this actually works, and this may offend a bunch of people, but we are going with Friar Ferguson.
How? Tell me about how that relates to heads in boxes.
I don't know.
Okay. Friar Ferguson is a goofy ass.
Friar Ferguson, or as most people would probably know him, Bastion Booger. That slop of a man.
I'll give you the double if you want. I'll give you the.
I will take the double. I will absolutely take the double. But the Mad Monk, Friar Ferguson, the man just shaved his head straight on there. He just has the sides. He's wearing the fucking brown robe. It just looks like shit. It made no sense. It absolutely did nothing for this man or the career or this company. For WWE, I think they actually got a complaint from the Catholic Church of New York. And that's why they ended up scrapping the gimmick.
That's not great.
It's bad, man.
That's bad. I gave you a twofer, and I'd like to see if I could also get a twofer from you.
We'll see. What is this twofer here?
I would like to get, as a package deal, both that 70s guy, Mike Awesome, and the fat chick thriller, Mike Awesome.
I don't know why you're saying these are bad gimmicks, but of course you can have them. You can have them.
Such a bad gimmick. And Mike Awesome. So this is it's the same thing as Goldust for me, where you have a certain gimmick and you've been in a certain role for a long time, and I get that you want something different, or they're like, well, we can't just present you the same way.
Shit, thriller.
So Mike Awesome somehow got saddled with that 70s guy and the fat chick thriller.
It's amazing.
Wow. Why?
He's great.
He had the whole train, but it was all bigger ladies, and I don't get it.
I love it.
Oh.
Anyways.
All right, what do you got for yours?
Is this the last pick?
This is the last pick.
Oh, since you don't have another one, I can workshop some things right now. So there's 2 people that I have in mind. The first is Kerwin White.
That was on my list.
Which is
Guerrero bloodline.
It's Chavo doing some weird things. The other, which is honestly, this is the one I'm going with. I'm going with Santa Claus.
Oh, I love Santa Claus. Balls Mahoney as an evil Santa Claus.
Bro, he just goes, he takes presents from children. He lives in the South Pole. Like the gimmick I think we covered it on this podcast. We did an episode during the holidays.
We did Christmas matches, and we had a Santa Claus match on there.
Yeah, like I think you mentioned it only lasted like maybe a month or a little over that.
It's literally the holidays.
Yeah, but like my God, just an incredible gimmick, just incredible. I'm slapping that one on there at the end.
That's good.
This is a great list of worst gimmicks.
Honorable mentions, people I had on my board still. The Goon, which is a hockey player. Fantasio, the wrestling magician. Eugene was on my list. Who? Remember who?
The Boogeyman?
The Boogeyman was not on my list because they weirdly made the Boogeyman work for a while.
Mortis?
Mortis was bad.
Max Moon.
Mordecai. I had Mordecai on my
Oh.
list, and he was who I was considering with the last one.
Glacier?
Glacier was kind of sick.
No, man. No, it wasn't.
It was the 90s.
No,
The Glacier was kind of sick.
No, it wasn't. Brother, the gear itself cost like $40,000.
I still get
Zeus?
like, so many of these are like a wrestler who had a lot of success. Like we're talking about Hector Guerrero is one of these. Kane is one of these. Who is Jim Neidhart in a mask? Mike Awesome was awesome in ECW. Kerwin White is Chavo Guerrero. Like there's Seven is Dustin Rhodes. Heidenreich loves his poetry.
I mean, listen, I'm actually kind of upset that we didn't pick this because it's one that actually makes a lot of sense. Why didn't we pick Disco Inferno?
Because I hate to just talk. If you talk about him, his ears perk up, and he just knows. Yeah. So for our draft recap, you end up with the Gobbledy Gooker, Oz, Mantaur, Friar Ferguson / Bastion Booger, and Santa Claus. I went the Yeti, Shockmaster, Isaac Yankem DDS, Seven, and that 70s guy / the Fat Chick Thriller.
The Fat Chick Thriller.
Mike Awesome.
Love it.
You should subscribe. If you aren't already, you should like the video. You should check out all of our other videos. We've done a lot of other drafts. Go and watch those. They're a great time. You should also follow us on social media at Crossbody of Work on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow Javier wherever he tells you.
J Mello Sports on the Twitter machine. If Elon Musk lets you view it.
If he lets you view tweets, you can follow me as well at Tevin Gomes, ITSEVANGOMES. On our regular podcast this week, we are covering the career of the Midnight Express. We just finished a 3-part series on Randy Orton. It's all on YouTube. You can go watch it right now. You can do all of that. And come check us out on Midnight Express. It's going to be a great time. Thank you for joining us for another Crossbody draft. We will be back soon. We'll talk to you then.
Bye.